What if the universe has already been responding to you, but in a language you were never taught to understand? Not signs, not synchronicities, something older, something precise, something watching and waiting. Because the truth is, you didn't. Find this video, it found you. And if you're still watching, that means one thing. You've reached a frequency right now that activates a hidden law most people never discover. A law that doesn't obey your words, your goals, or your hustle, but your energy. This book isn't fiction, it's a signal, encoded with a permission you finally unlocked. And once you understand how it works, reality stops resisting you, because the moment your energy becomes the command, the universe has no choice but to respond. Have you ever noticed that the most important moments in your life didn't arrive with a trumpet or a flashing sign? They arrived quietly. A book you weren't looking for, a video you clicked without thinking, a phrase someone said that struck deeper than it should have. It's almost as if something had been watching you, but not in the way we normally imagine. Not surveillance, not fate. Something more precise, more intimate. Something that has been waiting for you to become ready. This is what we call the cosmic green light. And it doesn't come from the sky, it comes from within. You see, the universe doesn't reward effort the way we're taught. It doesn't respond to desperation, constant action, or the endless repetition of affirmations with gritted teeth. It responds to one thing: your frequency. The truth is, manifestation isn't about asking, it's about matching. It's about coherence between who you are now and what you say you want. And when that inner alignment clicks into place, when your internal world stops resisting what you're truly asking for, something begins to shift. It's subtle but unmistakable. People return into your life, but they're different. Doors open, but not the ones you were banging on. Opportunities unfold, but not in the way you imagined. These are your green lights, and they only appear when your energy, not your words, says, "Yes, I'm ready now." Think about this. How many times have you begged for change while secretly fearing it? How many times have you said, "I want to manifest," but beneath the surface, a quiet voice whispered, "I'm not worthy"? This is why things don't move. Not because the universe is ignoring you, but because it's too intelligent to respond to noise. It's listening to the signal beneath the signal, your vibration, your readiness. Now let me give you a deeper image. Imagine that your life is a long stretch of road. You're sitting at a red light, impatient, foot-tapping, heart racing. You keep checking the mirror, you keep shouting at the sky, but nothing moves, because the signal isn't broken. You're just not tuned in. Then, one day, you stop forcing. You breathe, you ground. You let go of pretending to be ready, and you actually become ready. And the light changes, the flow returns, the right ideas arrive, the right people call. The book lands in your hands, and it's as if the entire structure of reality says, "Finally." That is the cosmic green light. And what's even more shocking is this: it wasn't the universe that changed, it was you. This moment, right now, might be the clearest evidence that your vibration has quietly shifted, because something in your field, your soul, your readiness, your signal, summoned this video to appear at exactly this point in your journey. And you might not even realize it. But something inside you already said, "Yes, I'm ready. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines. Ready to stop wishing and start resonating. Ready to stop chasing and start aligning." And here's the paradox. The cosmic green light doesn't appear after you're ready. It appears because you're ready. That's why you didn't stumble here by mistake. This message is not meant to entertain you. It's meant to awaken something ancient in you. Something that already knew the way but was waiting for permission to proceed. This is not a sign from the universe. You are the sign. You're the turning point, the switch, the shift, the green. Light has been here all along. It was just waiting for you to stop doubting it. So here's the final question before we move on. What if everything you've been waiting for has actually been waiting on you? You've likely heard this phrase before: you create your own reality. But what if it's incomplete? What if reality doesn't bend to your will just because you want it to, but because, at a deeper level, it already belongs to you? This is the uncomfortable truth behind true manifestation. You don't summon what you think you want. You summon what you are. This is where most people get lost. They follow the steps. They journal their desires. They visualize. They speak affirmations into the mirror. But nothing changes, at least not in the way they imagined. Why? Because manifestation isn't about convincing the universe. It's about coming into resonance with the version of reality that already holds what you seek. This is the law of resonance, and it's far more powerful than the law of attraction. Attraction implies distance, effort, pulling something in from outside. But resonance means it's already here. You just weren't vibrating at its frequency yet. Let me explain it like this. Picture two tuning forks on opposite ends of a room. You strike one, and if the other is tuned to the same frequency, it will begin to hum on its own. No touch, no force, no begging, just resonance. Now imagine your inner world, your emotions, beliefs, energy as that first tuning fork. Whatever you emit, you summon. Not because the universe is judging your worth, but because it echoes your frequency. You don't receive what you deserve, you receive what you match. And here's the part that most people never realize. You can't fake resonance. You can't say, "I'm abundant," while feeling unworthy and expect reality to be fooled, because the universe is honest. Brutally, beautifully honest. It listens to your feeling tone, not your words, to your energetic posture, not your performance. This is why ancient initiates across countless spiritual traditions insisted that wisdom is hidden in plain sight, but only revealed to those who are ready. And readiness is never about information. It's about vibration. That's why the book finds you when it does, not because you're finally smart enough, but because you're finally in alignment. The question becomes, what are you resonating with right now? Are you aligned with lack, fear, and survival mode frequencies that keep looping? Or are you beginning to emit something different, subtle, maybe even quiet, but new? Because if something within you is shifting, even slightly, you'll notice the outer world start to shimmer. Synchronicities, new ideas, old attachments falling away. But more importantly, you'll feel the inner click, a deeper peace, a quiet knowing, not because you forced it, but because you stopped hiding from your own power. And yes, power is the right word, but not the kind of power that dominates or controls. This is creative power, the power that emerges when your inner truth becomes louder than your inherited beliefs. And this is where manifestation truly begins, not with a vision board, but with a vibrational yes, a full body, soul deep, uncompromising agreement with the version of yourself that no longer begs for permission to exist. It's the shift from, "I hope the universe listens," to, "I am the message the universe responds." 2. Let that sink in. You are not here to summon by force. You are here to tune, to feel, to align, to match. When your internal state shifts, reality doesn't resist you. It begins to reshape around you like water around a new container. So if you've ever felt that your desires were too big, too distant, or too unrealistic, maybe it's not about wanting harder. Maybe it's about becoming the frequency that makes them inevitable. Because the truth is, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you summon through resonance, readiness, and realignment. And the moment you stop asking and start embodying, that's when everything moves. There's a part of you that's never offline. It doesn't sleep when you sleep. It doesn't care about logic, language, or even belief. It listens. It receives. It transmits. And while you've been searching for answers out there, it's been broadcasting something ancient and precise from within. Let's call it what it is, your cosmic antenna. This isn't a metaphor, it's a real mechanism within your energy field, one that spiritual traditions, mystics, and even fringe scientists have been whispering about for centuries. In some traditions, it's the pineal gland, the seat of spiritual vision. In others, it's the third eye, the crown chakra, or the gateway to source. But no matter what name you give it, the truth is the same. You are a receiver, and the quality of your signal determines the quality of your life. Not your job, not your bank account, not your circumstances, your signal. Now here's the key that most people miss. This antenna isn't tuned by logic, it's tuned by emotion. You can't think your way into higher consciousness. You can't brute force your way into alignment with the cosmos, but you can feel your way there, because emotion is the language of the antenna. It's the dial. Let me explain. Every thought you think is like a wave, but it's your emotional charge, the feeling behind the thought, that determines its frequency. Anger, fear, guilt. Low frequencies, static, distortion. You lose clarity. Gratitude, joy, peace. High frequencies, coherence, clear reception. You can feel it. That's why a single moment of true presence can feel like your whole being just clicked, as if you've remembered something you never knew you forgot. That's your antenna tuning in, and when it does, you don't just understand things differently, you begin to experience life through a different bandwidth. Synchronicities increase. You feel guided instead of confused. You become magnetic without even trying. Not because you've suddenly figured life out, but because you're finally in range. Now imagine this. Each morning you wake up, sit in stillness, and visualize golden light flowing through your body. You breathe. You let go of needing. You feel that light gently rising from the base of your spine to the top of your head and outward, like a signal expanding across the cosmos. That's not fantasy. That's physics, subtle energy physics. Your intention begins to shape the field around you. Your emotions fine-tune the message, and your clarity becomes the command, not a command through force, but through coherence. Coherence means your heart, mind, and soul are finally moving in the same direction. No more contradiction. No more, I want it, but I fear it. No more, I'm ready, but I doubt it. Just alignment. And once your antenna is clear, here's what happens next. You begin to pick up on opportunities before they appear. You feel when something is off, even when there's no evidence yet. You sense people's energy the moment they enter a room. You become less reactive because you're more tuned in, not to chaos, but to intelligence, a cosmic intelligence that's not above you or separate from you, but flowing through you constantly. This is what mystics and ancient initiates meant when they said, as above, so below. It wasn't just poetic. They meant the signal you send determines the signal you receive. You are not a passive being in a fixed reality. You are a transceiver, both a sender and a receiver. And when your inner broadcast changes, so does the channel of your entire life. So ask yourself, what are you transmitting right now, in this moment? Are you sending out confusion, scarcity, resistance? Or are you sending clarity, gratitude, and quiet certainty? Because the antenna doesn't lie. It reflects exactly what you feel, especially when no one is watching. And here's the miracle. You can retune it at any time. Right now, even as you listen, try this. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and visualize golden light entering the top of your head, filling your body, moving through your heart and expanding outward. Now in that feeling, without words, broadcast this one clear intention. I am ready. That's it. Not, I want. Not please give me. Just, I am ready. And if your signal is true, if your antenna is clear, you'll feel something shift, subtle but real. Because in that moment, you're no longer begging the universe to respond. You've become the frequency it's been waiting for. There's a reason most people never access their full power. It's not because they're weak, it's not because they're unworthy, and it's definitely not because the universe is withholding anything. It's because they're wearing veils, layers of distortion, invisible filters wrapped around perception, filters so old, so familiar, so embedded that they feel like truth. But they're not. They're illusions, programmed patterns, inherited scripts, and unless you remove them, one by one, you'll keep creating your reality through a fog, thinking you're awake while sleepwalking through a dream that isn't even yours. These are the 7 veils of illusion, and each one obscures your natural power in a different way. Let's lift them together. The veil of separation. This is the illusion that you are alone, that you are disconnected from source, from others, from the intelligence that holds everything together. It whispers, you're on your own. It feeds survival mode, scarcity, hyper-independence. It convinces you that power must be earned through pain or sacrifice. But beneath that veil is the truth. There is no separation. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, expressed as a temporary form. And when you dissolve this veil, even slightly, you begin to feel a quiet certainty. I was never alone. I was never disconnected. I just forgot. The veil of limitation. This one is sneaky. It shows up as logic, as reason, as realism. It says, be practical, don't dream too big, don't be naive. But this is not wisdom. It's programming. Most of what we call realism is just the residue of limitation passed down from generations of people who gave up on magic to survive in systems of control. But you didn't come here to obey limits. You came here to transcend them, and when you pierce this veil, you realize the limits weren't real. They were just lines drawn in chalk, and you were born to step over them, the veil of unworthiness. This one lives deep in the body, it's not even a belief, it's a frequency, a subtle hum of I'm not enough, woven into every choice, every relationship, every manifestation block. It often starts in childhood, from moments too small to notice, but sharp enough to shape identity. And until it's brought to the surface, it will keep repelling what you're asking for. Because deep down, you're not saying, I want this. You're saying, I don't deserve it. The moment you meet this veil with love, breath, and awareness, you begin to unravel the lie. You stop chasing worthiness and start remembering you were never broken to begin with. The veil of victimhood. This veil hides behind stories. He did this to me. They took that from me. I can't because of them. It's seductive because it explains your pain. But it also keeps you powerless. It keeps your energy stuck in the past, locked in loops of resentment and blame, making your identity a reaction to what happened, rather than a creation of what's becoming. Removing this veil isn't about denying injustice. It's about reclaiming agency. Because the moment you stop asking, why did this happen to me, and start asking, what is this trying to activate in me, everything changes. The veil of control. This one's tricky. It disguises itself as responsibility, as planning, as being in charge of your life. But underneath, it's fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of chaos. Fear of letting go. And it shows up as micromanaging the universe, trying to control every outcome, every relationship, every emotion, so that nothing unpredictable happens. But here's the paradox. You don't manifest by controlling. You manifest by co-creating, and co-creation requires trust. The moment you stop trying to dominate reality and start dancing with it, you unlock a flow that no strategy can replicate. The veil of external validation. This veil says you'll be powerful when they approve of you, when they see you, when they understand you. But power that depends on being seen isn't real power. It's performance, and it's exhausting because you're constantly shape-shifting to fit a mold that was never meant for your soul. Removing this veil doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you sovereign. You stop asking, do they accept me? And you start affirming, I accept my own frequency, fully, now. And in that moment you become magnetic, not because of how they see you, but because of how you finally see yourself. The veil of forgetting. This is the final veil, the deepest, the most haunting. It's the amnesia we all agreed to upon entering this reality. We forgot who we are, forgot what we came here to remember, forgot the infinite intelligence encoded in our own cells. This veil isn't lifted with thought. It's lifted with presence, with breath, with stillness, with choosing to feel what's real beneath the noise. And when it lifts, even for a moment, you remember, you are not your story. You are not your past. You are not even your name. You are consciousness, awake, aware, and creating. Right now, each of these veils dissolves not through force, but through awareness, through breath, through radical honesty, through meeting yourself in the places you've been taught to avoid. So here's the invitation. Start your day with presence. Visualize each veil dissolving into light. Breathe into the spaces they used to occupy, because behind the illusion is the real you. And once these veils fall away, there is nothing left between you and your power, nothing left between you and the universe's full response. What if I told you, reality has been speaking to you your entire life, but it's not using words. It never did. The universe doesn't speak English or Portuguese or Sanskrit. It speaks in vibration. It listens through emotion, and it responds through resonance. This is the language of energy, the forgotten code behind every synchronicity, every manifestation, every moment of deep knowing you've ever felt. And unless you learn to speak this language fluently, you'll keep asking for things in a dialect the universe doesn't understand, because here's the truth no one tells you. You're always manifesting. Even when it feels like nothing's happening, your energy is broadcasting 24/7 through your focus, your feelings, your expectations. Reality isn't ignoring you. It's just giving you exactly what you're vibrationally ordering, not what you want, but what you are. So how do you speak the language of energy clearly, on purpose? There are 5 key energetic principles. Think of them as the vowels of this cosmic language. When they're in harmony, your signal becomes undeniable. Let's break them down. Intention, your purpose. This is your why. Every creation, every vision, every manifestation begins with a root intention, a desire encoded with meaning. But intention is not just a mental goal. It's not saying, I want more money or I want a relationship. It's the energy behind that desire. Are you acting from fear of being alone, or from the joy of wanting to share your overflow? Because the universe listens to intention first. And if your intention is distorted by fear, doubt, or ego, the signal gets scrambled. Clean intention, clean creation. Before asking for anything, pause and ask yourself, what energy is fueling this? Because that energy becomes the blueprint. Attention. Where focus goes, energy flows. Attention is your lens. It directs your life force. It tells the universe what matters to you. Most people's attention is fragmented, scattered between fear of the future, regret of the past, and distraction of the present. But focused attention, that's power. It's like turning a flashlight into a laser. When your intention is clear and your attention is steady, your energy field begins to stabilize. Opportunities start organizing around your focus. The unseen begins to crystallize into form. So ask yourself, where is my attention looping unnecessarily? Every time you feed what you don't want with your attention, you water the weeds instead of the garden. Shift your gaze. Shift your life. Emotion, the fuel. If intention is the seed and attention is the soil, emotion is the water. It's what gives life force to your reality. Every thought you think has no power without emotional charge. You can say, "I'm abundant," all day long, but if you feel scarcity, your broadcast says otherwise. Emotion is magnetic. It pulls similar vibrations into your field. And here's the key. Your strongest emotional signals come not from what you say, but from what you believe beneath the surface. That's why emotional honesty is spiritual power. You don't need to be perfectly positive. You need to be authentically aligned, feel fully, then choose consciously. That's emotional fluency. Expectation, the quantum anchor. Expectation is your belief in receiving. It's the invisible contract you sign with the universe, saying, "This is not only possible, it's on its way." But here's where most people trip. They desire with hope, but expect with fear. They say, "I want this," but deep down they whisper, "It probably won't happen." And the universe listens to the whisper every single time. Expectation collapses the quantum field. It tells reality which version of the timeline you're emotionally prepared to meet. So what are you truly expecting? Doubt, delay, disappointment, or magic, clarity, support? Train your system to expect miracles, not out of naivety, but out of recognition that miracles are simply aligned frequencies made visible. Gratitude, the closing loop. Gratitude is not just a thank you. It's a dimensional signal that says, "I already received." When you feel gratitude before the manifestation arrives, you collapse time. You send a signal to the field that your desire is already real, and the universe, in turn, matches your certainty. But gratitude must be felt to be. Fluent mechanical thank yous don't speak the language. You must generate the frequency of true appreciation in your body, in your breath, in your field. Try this. Close your eyes. Visualize the desire as if it already happened. Feel the relief. Feel the joy. Anchor it into your nervous system. That's gratitude as energy, not concept, and it seals the manifestation cycle. Now step back and see the full picture. Intention aligns your purpose. Attention focuses your force. Emotion energizes your signal. Expectation sets your receiver. Gratitude locks it in. This is how you stop hoping the universe obeys you and start commanding reality without force, not through control, but through coherence. So let me ask you, what are you broadcasting right now? Not what you think you are, but what your vibration is saying behind the scenes. Because here's the final twist. The universe doesn't grant requests. It reflects states of being. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. And when you speak the true language of energy, clearly, consistently, coherently, there is nothing it can do but respond. So now we arrive at the final page, but you already know, this was never just a video. It was a mirror, a vibration, a code, and if you felt something shift inside you, no matter how subtle, that means the signal was received. The truth is, you were never waiting for the universe. The universe was waiting for you to align, to resonate, to remember, and now that you have, the game has changed. Because once you understand the language of energy, once you live from alignment rather than effort, you stop chasing miracles and start embodying them. So take a breath, feel into your field and whisper to yourself, not as a wish, but as a truth. I'm no longer asking, I'm becoming. So if this message reached you at the right time, don't let it stop with, "You like this video." If it resonated, your energy helps it reach others on the same path. Subscribe to stay connected with future transmissions that are already on their way. Leave a comment and share your reflection. Your story might be the exact signal someone else needs. And if you feel called, share this video with a friend or family member who's ready to remember, because awakening doesn't happen in isolation. It spreads, one signal at a time. Another doorway has just opened, and it's calling your name. Until next time, stay tuned, stay sovereign, and speak The language the universe can't ignore.